Hello, Tigers. My name is Scott Becker, and this is the first episode of the Trench Talk podcast. We're here with Coach Gallucci. Tell us a little about yourself.
Appreciate you having me on, Scott. Excited to do this. My name is Jason Gallucci. I am the Devon and Jackson Anderson Director of Performance at Princeton. Going into my 25th year, came to Princeton in May of 2000, and it's been a long, exciting run with a lot of success, and I'm just happy to do this with you today.
Awesome. Yeah. So we're still in training camp right now, and it's always a great time for team bonding and just getting to know everyone, all the freshmen, from freshmen to seniors, and it's a great time. I was wondering, as a strength coach, what is the key to success in training camp and throughout the season as well?
Yeah, great question, Scott. And honestly, I think it's bigger than preseason, in-season, being an athlete. Honestly, I think the key to success is consistency, right? And being relentlessly consistent in what you do, and I think that transcends, all aspects of your life, not just sport. But when you look at it from an athletic perspective, growth doesn't happen overnight, right? Team building doesn't happen overnight. Development doesn't happen overnight. It takes a relentless, consistent effort day in and day out of working at all of the little things that are going to build up to create the individual to be the best individual he can be on the team, and then make the team the best team it could possibly be as a whole. So that relentless consistency to what you do in your approach, and obviously having your values and what those values are, having goals that are set. We talk about it all the time, and Coach Serace is so good with laying out kind of the standard for the team and the direction that we're headed, and talking about finish line anxiety, right? That's something he talked about in our team meeting in the beginning. And we can't look at game one right now and try to get there right away and be prepared for that today. We have to take every day from here till then and get better and build the team and grow to game one and kick off of game one. And honestly, that's what it's all about from the very beginning, right? So it's day in and day out, relentless consistency in what you do, and then growth day after day to get us to the point that when we do kick off, on September 20th, that we're ready to go.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Coaches have always told me you don't rise to the occasion, you fall to the level of your training, and we got to train at the highest level to be successful on September 20th.
Yeah.
So couldn't agree more. So obviously you're a seasoned veteran. You've been doing this for, hate to say it, longer than I've been alive.
I guess you could say it that way, yeah. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I was just wondering, what is your philosophy in developing student athletes?
Yeah, great question, and it's a little bit of a loaded one because there's so much that goes into it, right? And I think that you've heard the big parts many times over and over again. You see them on the wall in the weight room, right? When it boils right down to it, from a philosophical perspective, we talk about passion and hard work every day, and for me, that's why I do what I do. It's what I have passion for. It's the ability to develop young men like yourself, young athletes, to be not just the best athlete you can be, but also as you're going through this period of time where there's so much growth in every aspect of your life. So that passion and that hard work for us is key. And ultimately, from a coaching perspective, why I love what I do so much is, there are X's and O's in performance, just like there are in really any sport, and certainly the way there are in football. And it's important for us to prepare, just like the way you would prepare, and you would get into your playbook and you have your meetings, and we go out and we practice and we run through the steps to make sure that we're ready to go and we can execute. The same thing is said for us, preparation and having a program, and then being really disciplined in our structure, from a philosophical perspective, is extremely important, because at the end of the day, there is a lot of fluidity in what we do, and things do change, right? And we have to be able to respond to whether we're having a lot of success in our program or whether we're running into a little bit of adversity in our program, and we know we need to pivot. So making sure that we have a plan that's set and it's sound and it's structured within a system that's important to us and that we think is going to make us get to where we need to be, is critical to what we do so that we can pivot when we have to pivot. And then after that, I mean, the X's and O's of it, that's the fun part, right? That's where we really get to dive in deep and do some different things. And, I would say there's no exercise out there that I am 100% tied to and that I have to do.
What about hang cleans? I love hang cleans.
I do too, right? But if there was a reason where you couldn't do a hang clean, or if we didn't have a facility to do it, and we're fortunate enough to have it, we would have to find another way, and we could find another way. It's a great exercise. We use it quite often, But I think I learned this when I was a young strength coach, and it's really kind of what, gave me a little bit of this philosophy. There was a strength coach out there who was very well known, and the conversation was about squat, and where I played, we didn't squat. We didn't have squat in our program, and
that's a crime.
So I think he kind of he made note of it in a presentation to say, like, if you don't have squats in your program, you don't have a program. And honestly, it was like a shot at what we were doing, and it kind of took me back because it's like, you know what, bring your team to us or let us come to you, and we beat you by 50 because we were loaded and we were really good. And I do love the squat, and we program it a lot, right? But there's nothing we necessarily have to do to get to where we're trying to go. It's about how do we do it, right? And how many times have I said it's not about how much weight you move, it's about how you move the weight. You hear that from Corey all the time as well. So the X's and O's are really where it gets fun and really kind of playing with that. And that's honestly what I love about it, because it's always changing, right? And there's always different ways to do it, and every team is different. And you're 3, going on 4 years here, our program hasn't always been the same. The program changes, it evolves with the team and what we have and where we need to go.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's evolved in a positive way, and off-season training has only gotten better every year. So I appreciate you investing in us, and Coach Corey investing in us, and the whole athletic program investing in us. So that's something I've been very grateful for my 4 years here. What's your favorite period of practice?
Oh, one-on-ones, no doubt. And you know it, I'm down there all the time watching. As a guy who, played some time, had some time now as a defensive lineman in college, and get my hand in the dirt. And that was always my favorite period in practice. It's my favorite period to watch in practice. There's nowhere to hide. It's one-on-one. And, and I'm not going to lie. Like, I know that's a defensive period. Like,
it is.
You should win every one-on-one, right? No excuse, because it's set up for success. We know it's past. We could pin our ears back and go. You got huge gaps with wide splits.
Yeah.
Like, you should win every single one. But it's my favorite, especially get the bigs down there, go one-on-one and kind of get after it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm more of a move the ball guy. I like up-tempo, inside zone, mid-zone, you name it, any zone, I'm in it.
Yeah, we knew that about you.
Yeah, it doesn't take much to figure that one out. I have a question. As a recruit, I know I definitely had a hard time transitioning from high school to college. It's just the speed of it all, the responsibility, the expectations. It'll get to you for sure. What can a recruit do to ease in that transition?
Great question. And I think there's two parts to this, right? There's the physical piece to it, and then there's also the psychological piece of it. Let's start with the psychological piece. The first thing is to realize that that's normal.
Yeah.
Right? That is normal. We talk about performance in a whole, and again, we've had this conversation, being a student athlete, wellness leader, right? We talk about, performance as a whole and wellness as a whole. In order to perform in any one of the main areas in your life, right? We talk about, you come to Princeton because it's Princeton. It is the best academic school in the world, right? And then you come here to play a high level of football. And there's also an extremely important aspect of the social aspect and the social piece right here. All things need to be firing, right, in order for you to excel in any one of those three, right? So it's important that when you come to any place as a high school athlete, going to Division I and play sports, that's normal, right? That things are going to happen fast, that you're going to be challenged in a lot of ways that you weren't challenged before, and that the competition out there is going to be that much greater, right? So kind of destigmatizing the fact that everybody walks into college and everything's just going great right away. I mean, that's just not the case, right? So kind of taking a deep breath and giving yourself a chance to, be okay with the fact that the transition's not as easy as everyone might make it seem to be is kind of the first step. I think the from the physical piece, and you've heard this from me again, and I'll say this till I'm blue in the face, is be in shape. I mean, it is, because when you talk about, like, the biggest thing that will get you is fatigue, right? I mean, fatigue affects every single part of your performance, and if you're physically fit and you're ready to play the game at the tempo that we're going to play at, a lot of things come easier, right? I mean, as you get fatigued, you lose power. As you get fatigued, you lose coordination. When you get fatigued, you lose cognitive ability, right? And all those things start to fall, and then you don't show as well as you'd want to show on tape, or you're not picking up the game the way you'd want to pick the game up. And then, of course, it's harder to recover, right? If you're not in shape, you're recovering. We talk about recovery, right? And coach is big on recovery. But your recovery is affected if you're not in shape. So really kind of that fitness piece, and making sure that you're ready to do the things that we're going to ask you to do on the field, which is why we design our off-season program the way we do. It's why our summer program's designed the way it is. And it's very purposefully, constructed and reverse engineered from what we know we're going to ask of you to do, in the first week to 2 weeks of camp, and then preparing your body for that all the way up into it.
Thank you. Yeah. I wish I had this wisdom when I was in high school.
The other thing too, Scott, is the resources that we have at a place like Princeton, and sometimes it becomes overwhelming. You walk into a school of this size, and the people that are around, and the buildings, and how some of the departments and everything that's going on, and to realize the resources that you have, and that there are people there that'll help you. And the first people I say, like, your teammates. You have teammates that have gone through this before. And actually, you addressed the team the other day after lift, and you had said that, to young guys. We were talking about recovery, who are having a hard time figuring out the recovery piece. Talk to upperclassmen, guys that have been through camps before. So having a teammate, having a coach, as a resource. And then obviously there are other resources we have from, our performance coaches, the medical athletic trainers, the doctors, sports psychologists, sports dietitians, and using those resources to the best of your ability. Yeah, for sure. The resources are endless, and you just got to take advantage of it, because everyone wants to help you, and everyone wants to see you succeed. So that's one of the hallmarks of Princeton. Hey, so I know you were excited that, change the subject a little bit about, breakfast, right? I knew, it's opening back up, and I could see the smile on your face. So what was it? First day? What was the first
day of
breakfast?
Cannon breakfast was amazing. I woke up 7:45, went downstairs, put in my breakfast order, homemade burrito with 2 eggs, chicken sausage, cheddar cheese, chipotle aioli, and salsa verde on the side.
The salsa verde is big. I knew you were excited about the salsa verde. So how were the eggs prepared?
Over hard. So good. But
Okay.
but after I ordered it, I went upstairs, took a shower, came back downstairs, all dressed, ready to go for first day of class, ready. Just my dream morning.
Game day ready. So
Game day
salsa
ready.
on the side. You able to dump
Little
the
dunk.
salsa?
It was so good. I love a breakfast burrito.
And you went chicken sausage. What were your options there? You have protein options?
Oh yeah, there's everything. There's regular sausages, turkey sausages, bacon, and from the night before you can grab some steak. And I love steak.
That would have been elite. Yeah. I'd be a chicken guy. I'd be a chicken breast guy probably in that burrito, especially with the salsa verde. Yeah. I feel like that would marry up really well. So what the invite? Where was my invite?
You get it next time. Breakfast is like one of my most sacred times. Like, you gotta enjoy it. So I would love to have you for a good breakfast.
Yeah, I mean, just let me know. I'll get dressed up for you.
Perfect. So what's a big nutrition myth that a lot of athletes don't understand?
Well, I think there's a lot of them, and I think you get to hear Hector talk a lot of times, and like, it's the very simplest of, like, what's the most important thing, and the most important thing is meeting your energy needs. Mm-hmm. I think it's too easy to get tied up in all the other things that are important, but they don't necessarily matter until you're at that place of meeting your base energy needs for the day. I mean, obviously you want to have some concept of what you're fueling your body with, right? And that you're making healthy choices. However, I think a lot of athletes forget that getting in the base level of energy so that they can go through the course of the day, and understanding how many more calories a day an athlete typically burns, and how to meet those needs is critical. And it's really hard to do if you're not getting the bases. And what are your bases? You know, your 3 big meals, your snacks in between meals, like a late night snack, you know, and then starting to worry about, okay, so what are the macronutrients and how am I breaking that up? And how is my nutrient timing around whether it's training or practice or game or whatever the case may be. But really meeting those base energy needs is the most critical thing.
What's the craziest thing you've seen someone do to try and meet those needs?
Oh, I mean, I've got pictures on my phone of things that you've sent me, you know, when you sit down to eat. So I don't know if I could get them up in front of the camera and we could see some of that. But I think you'd probably have at least 7 or 8 of the top 10.
I mean, garlic knot meatball parm sliders is one of them for sure.
I remember that one. That one looked good.
Yeah, anything Parmesan on a slider, I'm in.
Big app guy, too, for anybody that doesn't know that. Huge app guy.
I love appetizers. Clams Casino, oysters, calamari, shrimp, wings. Speaking of wings, all right.
I think most people probably already know the answer to this, but what's your stance on dessert?
I'm not a sweets guy.
Really?
I mean, I like to eat the savory part of the meal. Like, I'll never turn down a cupcake or a cheesecake or a milkshake, but, you know, I like to eat the main entree.
That's fair.
Just
I can
indulge.
appreciate that.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather have seconds on steak than have a sweet.
Yeah.
So.
But wherever I go, I'm always the menu captain.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah. One for me, one for you, one for the table. That's my motto.
I love it.
Last question. If you're eating chicken wings, are you going to choose flats or drumsticks?
You know my stance on this. I'm a chicken cutlet guy all day, every day. If you're going to give me those 2 options, I'm going to go drumstick.
All right, that's a good choice.
Yeah, but I would be a chicken cutlet all day, every day.
Yeah.
With a little bit of lemon juice on top, right? It's just golden.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also a drumstick guy. I just think there's more meat on the bone. Never leave any meat on the bone.
Nope.
But I do enjoy chicken cutlets by the pound. And usually if you need a shovel, it's not a portion size. So
this is fair.
So
and just because it's all you can eat
doesn't mean you should eat it all.
Yeah.
Words to live by.
Sure is.
Well, thank you for coming out today. I really appreciate it. This was a fun time.
That was great to do it. Thank you.
Definitely do it again.